discussing how they found the remains of a missing 4-year-old girl, Javeayah Harris. A part of her body was found to be dissolved by chemicals and poured into a lake.
Investigators going public today with those disturbing details about Javeayah Harris's death.
As you see behind me, hundreds in attendance on Thursday night for a candlelight vigil to honor Javeayah Harris.
My 37-year career in law enforcement, I've never heard of anything so horrific. I will not refer to them as mom and dad or mother or father.
Right here in the store. I didn't know who it was I was talking to.
My package is gonna start.
I was entertaining the devil and didn't even know it.
And he has her in his arms, and she's not gonna hurt anymore.
Now, when asked if there are plans to push for the death penalty.
As you're looking at video of the parents at their separate bond hearings yesterday.
Search for 4-year-old Javeayah Harris's body taking another heartbreaking turn of events. Authorities found some of the little girl's remains at Cedar Creek Reservoir.
A 4-year-old girl who disappeared out of Aiken County has ties to the upstate.
It started with 4 words. I can't find my baby. A frantic voice echoed through a 911 call, sending dispatchers into motion. Within minutes, deputies were racing toward a quiet home in Aiken County, South Carolina. Neighbors stepped outside, flashing blue lights cut through the darkness. Before sunrise, helicopters would be in the air, tracking teams would comb the woods, and hundreds of strangers would begin searching for a little girl they had never met. For days, hope refused to disappear. Volunteers walked miles beneath the summer sun. Search dogs followed every possible scent. Drones swept over thick patches of forest. Families who had never heard the child's name before shared her photograph across social media, believing every new post might be the one that brought her home. But according to investigators, something about the story never fit. Not because of one dramatic mistake, because of dozens of tiny details that slowly began pulling investigators in a completely different direction.
What really happened to Javeayah Harris?
This is the story of 4-year-old Javeayah Harris, a case that began as a desperate search for a missing child, then transformed into one of the most disturbing investigations South Carolina has seen in recent years. And once investigators started comparing the timeline to the evidence they were collecting, they say almost nothing unfolded the way it had first been reported. The emergency call sounded heartbreaking. The caller explained that her daughter had been outside playing while dinner was cooking inside. She said she had only stepped away briefly. When she returned, the little girl was gone. She described a routine evening. Bath water was running. Dinner was almost ready. Her daughter had asked for a little more time to play before coming inside. Nothing about the conversation sounded unusual for a parent trying to explain how quickly a child can disappear. Dispatchers immediately began gathering every detail they could. What was the child wearing? How long had she been missing? Did she have any medical conditions? Were there nearby woods? Was there anywhere she usually liked to play? Every answer painted a vivid picture. The little girl was described as wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas with pink beads in her hair. Her favorite place to play, according to the caller, was near a chicken coop behind the home. There was a wooded trail nearby. She was friendly. She wasn't afraid of strangers. The family had only recently moved into the neighborhood and didn't know many people. As deputies rushed toward the address, the situation appeared painfully familiar. A small child, a narrow window of time, darkness approaching. The first hours after a disappearance are often the most important, and investigators wasted no time. Law enforcement from multiple agencies responded. Search teams spread through the surrounding property. Neighbors joined the effort. By the following day, the search had expanded dramatically. Helicopters circled overhead. Specialized tracking teams arrived. Federal agents assisted local investigators. Volunteers formed search lines across fields and wooded trails, carefully scanning every inch of ground. Thousands of acres would eventually be searched. The community watched every update, hoping the next announcement would bring good news.
Why did investigators begin to doubt the original story?
Instead, investigators found themselves asking increasingly difficult questions. Some answers didn't match physical evidence. Other parts of the timeline became difficult to verify. Every investigation begins with a story. Experienced detectives know that story can change as evidence begins speaking for itself. Rather than accepting every statement at face value, investigators started reconstructing the day minute by minute. Who saw Javeayah? When was she last independently observed? Who could confirm the timeline? What physical evidence supported the account given to dispatchers? Those questions would eventually become the center of the investigation. According to court records filed later, investigators concluded that the disappearance reported during the 911 call did not happen the way it had been described. That realization changed everything. The search was no longer focused only on finding a missing child.
What evidence changed the direction of the investigation?
Detectives began examining whether they had been investigating the wrong crime from the very beginning. As warrants were later made public, prosecutors alleged that Javeayah had suffered a serious injury connected to physical abuse weeks before the emergency call was ever placed. The documents further allege that she was not taken for medical treatment after that injury. Those allegations became the foundation of homicide by child abuse charges filed against both parents. The court filings also describe what investigators called an extreme indifference to human life by failing to seek medical care after the child was allegedly injured. Those are allegations made in official charging documents, and they remain subject to the criminal court process. Still, they dramatically altered public understanding of the case. The emotional 911 recording that had captured the attention of thousands was suddenly viewed in a completely different light. Investigators now questioned whether the search itself had begun under false circumstances. Meanwhile, hundreds of volunteers continued searching. People who had never met the child gave up work, canceled plans, and spent long days walking through dense woods because they believed there was still a chance she could be found alive. Churches organized prayer gatherings. Residents donated food and water to search crews. Children placed stuffed animals near the command post. Entire neighborhoods waited anxiously for updates that never seemed to bring relief. The case had united complete strangers around one shared hope: bring Javeayah home. But behind the scenes, detectives were continuing to collect interviews, examine evidence, and compare every statement against what they were learning. Piece by piece, investigators say the original narrative was beginning to unravel. Then came the development that changed the investigation forever. According to arrest warrants later released by authorities, investigators obtained statements from the defendants that became central to the criminal case. Those documents would shift the investigation away from a missing person search and toward an entirely different objective. What officers believed had happened and what the public had been told were no longer the same story. And in part 2, we'll examine the arrest warrants, the allegations described by investigators, how the search changed, and why an entire community would later discover that the heartbreaking story which first brought everyone together was, according to prosecutors, very different from what investigators say actually occurred. The release of the arrest warrants marked a turning point. Until that moment, the public believed they were witnessing the heartbreaking search for a missing 4-year-old. Every update focused on helicopters, tracking dogs, search teams, and volunteers pushing deeper into the woods surrounding the family's home. Then the documents became public. According to investigators, the case had followed an entirely different path behind closed doors. The warrants allege that Javeayah Harris had suffered a severe injury during a period spanning several weeks before the emergency call was ever made. Prosecutors further allege that she was never taken for medical treatment, despite the seriousness of her condition. Those allegations form the basis of the homicide by child abuse charges now facing both parents. Court documents specifically state that investigators believe one parent caused the injury through physical abuse, while alleging that both adults failed to seek medical care afterward. Prosecutors describe that alleged failure as showing an extreme indifference to human life, language that appears directly in the charging documents. Perhaps one of the most significant developments described in those warrants involves statements investigators say they received during the investigation. According to the documents, both defendants gave accounts that investigators used when building the criminal case. Those statements, as described in the warrants, became a major reason detectives shifted away from treating the case as a missing child investigation. Authorities also allege that the report of an abduction was false. That allegation dramatically changed the meaning of the emotional 911 recording heard around the country. Every sentence spoken during that call was suddenly viewed through a completely different lens. The descriptions of pink pajamas, the bath waiting inside, dinner cooking on the stove, the familiar walk to the chicken coop, the fear that a stranger may have taken a child. According to investigators, none of those details reflected what had actually happened that evening. One statement contained in the charging documents stood out above almost every other. Investigators allege that the child's body had been moved to another location. That single allegation transformed the mission overnight. Search teams who had spent days combing thousands of acres near the family home suddenly found themselves working from entirely different information.
What did investigators discover during the search?
The operation expanded into new areas. Specialized units were deployed. Aircraft searched from above. Boats assisted in locations identified during the investigation. Roads were temporarily closed while detectives processed potential evidence. At that point, authorities were no longer searching for a child who might still be alive. They were attempting to recover evidence connected to an alleged homicide. Even then, many volunteers had no idea why the direction of the investigation had changed so dramatically. They simply kept searching. Many of those people had never met Javeayah. Some traveled long distances simply because they could not imagine a 4-year-old disappearing without someone trying to help. Others spent hours walking difficult terrain in the South Carolina heat, hoping they might notice something investigators had missed. The emotional toll spread far beyond the immediate family. Outside the home, a memorial continued to grow. Stuffed animals lined the roadside. Pink balloons moved gently in the wind. Flowers, candles, handwritten notes, and children's toys covered the ground. For many residents, the memorial became a place to grieve a child they had only recently learned about. A candlelight vigil brought together hundreds of strangers. Parents held their own children a little tighter that evening. First responders who attended later described how deeply the case affected them. Neighbors spoke about the fear that settles over a community whenever a child disappears. At the time, everyone believed they were gathering to pray for a little girl who might still be found. Only later would prosecutors allege that she had already died long before the first volunteer arrived. Investigators continued processing the family's property. Crime scene tapes surrounded the home. Evidence markers appeared both inside the residence and in nearby wooded areas. Deputies were seen carrying evidence bags while forensic teams carefully documented the scene. Officials released very few details publicly, repeatedly explaining that the investigation remained active. As often happens in major criminal cases, investigators allowed physical evidence, not public speculation, to guide the next steps. Throughout the investigation, authorities emphasized that many facts would ultimately be tested in court. Arrest warrants represent allegations supported by probable cause, not findings of guilt. The defendants are presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Those legal principles remain fundamental, regardless of the seriousness of the accusations. Still, the allegations described in the warrants have left a lasting impact on the community. People continue asking the same difficult questions. Could this tragedy have been prevented? Did anyone outside the home notice warning signs? Was there an opportunity for intervention before investigators say the fatal injury occurred? Those questions may be explored further as the criminal case moves through the courts. For investigators, however, the focus remains much simpler. Recover every piece of evidence. Establish the complete timeline. Present the facts before a jury. Only then can the legal process determine responsibility. Cases involving children often leave communities searching for answers that may never fully come. This investigation is no exception. It began with a desperate emergency call that inspired thousands of people to believe a little girl was still somewhere waiting to be found. It became an investigation centered on allegations of abuse, deception, and the loss of a young life. Long after the search teams packed away their equipment and the helicopters disappeared from the sky, one image continues to remain: a row of pink balloons, small stuffed animals resting quietly beside the road, candles flickering after sunset. Not because they solve the mystery, not because they answer every question, but because they remind everyone of the same heartbreaking truth.
What happened in the end of this tragic case?
At the center of every court filing, every warrant, every search operation, and every headline was a 4-year-old child whose life ended far too soon. As the criminal proceedings continue, investigators will continue presenting evidence. Prosecutors will argue their case, and the defense will have the opportunity to challenge every allegation in court. Until then, many of the final answers remain for the justice system to determine. Whatever the verdict ultimately becomes, one fact is beyond dispute. An entire community came together for a little girl they had never met. And that compassion, shown by hundreds of strangers searching under the summer sun, may be the one part of this tragic story that no allegation, no courtroom battle, and no passing of time can ever change.